And this brings us to the very last segment of today's program. If I could invite Megan back up to deliver your closing remarks.
This is the last time you're going to hear from me, I promise you. We're going to break for coffee, tea, and refreshments after this. But everyone, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. At the close of this afternoon of very insightful discussions, I hope. As Shirin mentioned earlier, this is UCFS Thailand, and this is the last in our series of Jakarta, Indonesia, Jakarta, Philippines, Jakarta, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand. So this is our last stop for this year. Every year, we keep growing in strength and numbers as well. I'm very heartened to see this discussion going forward as well. We're going to start off next year with UCFS in Hong Kong in February, so do follow us as well for more news on that. But as today's discussion was going on, I kind of flash back to the other discussions that we had earlier this year. I was in Jakarta for the very first one that we had in partnership with the Jakarta Investment Center, with Siemens Energy, as well as the various banks that were on there as well. I was also there for Malaysia, that we had in partnership with Capital Markets Malaysia and SEC, and all the various partners we had. And, a couple of very similar key points came out from those discussions, as did today as well. We know that there is an urgent need to attract investment, developing robust policy frameworks, as well as honing in on building up the capacity, knowledge sharing, of the workforce as well, to support this transition. And we must also note that it has to be a just transition as well, as Sarini mentioned earlier. And with that, there are also challenges faced by SMEs, which for the most of the Southeast Asian countries are the backbone of the economy. I think I got the number from Michaela earlier, 2.6 million SMEs in Thailand. Malaysia as well faces a similar, kind of statistic, as well as Singapore. So then how do we bring these SMEs along with us? And that really requires the partnership of all the players in the ecosystem, is what Wong Yuan said earlier as well. Open innovation, open collaboration, bring everyone along with us as we continue on this decarbonization journey. Energy is a huge one. Obviously, that's a big thing that we need to tackle in order for us to reach our 2050, 2060 goals. Reliable infrastructure, and again, reliable grid, sufficient and diversified investments, as well as funding innovation, enabling policies and strategic partnerships are all key to making sure we're going along this journey in the right way. So with that, I don't want to say anything more. I think all that already highlights all the similar, issues and also solutions that are along these whole Southeast Asian conversations that we've been having here. I wanted to just kind of highlight as well, because we had Singapore most recently, and we had Ravi Menon, the Singapore's ambassador for climate action and senior advisor for the National Climate Change Secretariat, give a speech as well. And he said, I'm going to quote everything here, if emissions in Asia are not abated, the result will be catastrophic climate change globally. But Asia should not have to choose between sustaining economic growth and reducing emissions. That is a false choice. Asia will have to work towards decoupling economic growth from emissions, and it will not be easy. But this also requires Asia to chart a transition pathway that is contextualized to its own unique challenges and its stage of economic and social development. But then, there can be no compromise on the eventual goal, which is to achieve close to net zero emissions around the middle of the century. That timeline is not set by politics, it is not set by economics, but by nature. And I thought that was a very, very powerful final statement that I want to leave you here with as well. Again, that's all Ravi Menon, not my words. So with that, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes as well, to highlight, all the similar threads that's been across Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand. And it is now even more clear that sustainability and climate change issues cannot be isolated from one country to another, and that it is with regional and perhaps one day global collaboration that will lead us to where we need to be for a sustainable green future. And then a couple of plugs on my side here. I did mention TLC earlier, and I think for those who were here early in the afternoon as well, you saw the the highlights video that we had. And TLC is one of our very, very close to heart initiatives by Ecobusiness that obviously is supported by Temasek Foundation as well. And this is now grown to be the region's largest sustainability solutions platform. last year, we had about over 1,000 applications come in globally. We had maybe more than 80 ecosystem partners, and we brought in about $2.5 million worth of grants funds and also investment opportunities as well. So with that, I did mention earlier, 8th edition is now underway. So if any of you would like to know more about it in terms of partnership opportunities or even how do you get this out to your ecosystem, do approach me, and Shireen later on, we can have a chat with you. And if you enjoyed today's event and would like to support our independent journalism on sustainable development in Asia, we just recently launched our subscription model for, can you believe it, for the past 14 years. Our content was all free, no paywall. But as you know, media is quite a difficult business, so we made a quite a difficult decision to put on a subscription wall this year. So we have the EB Circle subscription for unlimited access to all our content and also be a part of a community as well. You can just take out your phone again. If I don't see you take out your phone, means you're not looking at it. You can also consider EB Premium as well if you like the ability to publish press releases, job listings, events, and research paper on our platform as well. And then also the EB Enterprise, which actually UOB is on board. Thank you, Morgan and team, where you can give your employees unlimited access to all our premium content, get publishing credits to publish on our platform, and also get priority tickets and passes to our events such as this, and access to exclusive subscriber-only content. If there's any other ways you'd like us to see how we can work with you on this package, do let me know as well. And as I said earlier as well, UCFS Unlocking Capital for Sustainability is one of our flagship forums, and we will be kicking off Hong Kong next year in February 28. And then afterwards, we'll continue on a regional tour, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand here back again around this time next year. If any of you would like to know more about that or come on board as a partner, I'll be here, Shireen will be here as well. We can chat there later. But with that, thank you so much all for your attention and for your full participation today. I'll hand back the last remarks to Shireen.
Thank you, Megan. My final remark is that this brings us to the closing of our event. And thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. We are delighted to have been here and excited to come back next year, excited to see you all here next year as well. Thank you, everyone.